So Karl, can you find out the name of that? Because
Yes.
we'll be there next month.
Wasn't that found like 100 years ago or so, that the Indian who used to use
Oh,
that?
sure, it was used for a long, long time, but when you get into the chemistry of things, the chemists finally found it out.
There is two
not too
variety
long
of
ago.
trees. One is stronger than the other. It's the red and the
Yeah,
white one.
starts with a J, doesn't it? Okay, go ahead.
I'm
She
gonna
has to
make
blend. Nice thing moving here.
There we go.
You're making another pie crust?
We're making Plum Balls.
Ah, this is pretty. Whoa, all right.
You can make a lot of that, can you keep it in the refrigerator?
I keep it in the freezer. So the ones you're gonna taste are ones that I did about 3 or 4 days ago.
I thought you said
And how long does
freezer.
it last?
In the freezer, I'd say a couple weeks. I wouldn't go any longer than that. But you'll like it, so you'll eat it fast. You can get those out and start getting them actually. I've been experimenting on a lot of people who have inflammation to see if these work. So far, so good.
And did it work?
You mean the Plum Balls? Yeah. They help with inflammation. It's not going to take it totally away, but it'll help. Which then decreases your pain also.
Kimchi also, we
Yeah, kimchi also
utilize
works.
kimchi for that. Yeah, we're not saying it's going to cure anybody, but it's been shown to help. What's going on with the animals.
It would stick in my
If you take gorillas, when they eat they're herbivores, when they're sick, they know exactly what plant to eat. It is amazing that and animals know this. The dog will do the same thing. What does the dog do when he's sick? He goes out and eats grass.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Or some other herb to help him get through that problem. So, what do you need?
Blender. Dry blender.
The grass
Right.
actually makes them throw up, Karl.
Yes.
So they want to get it out of their stomach.
Yes.
But they go after different things like dandelions and bitters and and they try to pull away, but they know better than you.
That's right. The bitters are the good part to.
Cats do it
Take
too.
Bitters cleans your liver too and other things.
Bitter is good for us. I don't know how we ever got taught, not to eat
It's
anything
easy.
bitter, but
But it's
That's
easy, it's
sweet.
bitter.
We've gotten sweet tooths.
yeah. But it depends on what you were raised with. If you were raised with bitter, you wouldn't mind it, because I raised my daughters to eat vitamin A pills, and just take it directly out of the little shell that it's in, and they loved that taste.
But I
They
think
don't mind it.
you know about bitter lemon, that they use a bitter cucumber. The bitter cucumber that is
Bitter melon.
Bitter
Yes.
melon, better, yeah.
Yes.
When I first tasted it was like, whoa! And I got used to it and it's good.
Yeah, it's just like anything. Like people will taste what we feel is sweet, and they'll say, "Oh, that is not sweet at all." They're not accustomed to lowering that sweet tooth down.
It's kind of like muscle testing too, like when you get the herbs that you need, and you can feel how it affects your body just by having it around you.
Yeah.
Right.
You can hold on to it.
You know that you should probably have some of that,
Right.
When I was a kid, I could not eat a date. It was way too sweet for me. I couldn't.
Right.
Dates are too sweet.
Dates are sweet.
I
They're
was
extremely
sweet.
sweet.
I couldn't.
Honey too.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna put the corn in because I think it needs the thickener of it. So what I did is, this is sweet corn that I dehydrated. Okay, and so I'm gonna blend it up into a powder now.
Yeah, we didn't make popcorn here last week, did we?
Debbie sent something out in an email about popcorn.
She said they eat it at home sometimes.
Yeah,
But
we
you don't
eat
eat it out of the bags, you don't use.
No,
the-
never,
Yeah,
never, never, never.
Yeah.
Never, that stuff is so toxic for you,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
never eat popcorn out of a bag
The
from a
microwave,
microwave.
Yeah.
microwave stuff is not good because two things. One, chemical processes in the bag,
Right.
plus the microwaving, you got two
It's
things that are
against it.
lethal.
It's against it.
So we have the popcorn here, yellow popcorn,
Uh-huh.
and you use that with an air popper.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can use the old-fashioned way, which was, I don't care for this either, the oil. So when you do that, you've got trans fat oil.
Unless you use white oil, you can use coconut oil.
Coconut oil and red palm oil. Red palm oil would add a good flavor to it.
Yeah, you make it orange, then it'd be a good
But
flavor.
you use air pop.
I can't hear it.
Absolutely, air pop is so much better.
Do we have it?
And we
We
have,
haven't got it yet, no.
and we don't,
That's something we have to order in from Africa.
we don't have popcorn very often either.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
these
hard on my
things-
stomach.
Do that.
I can't
Yeah.
eat it all.
I can
Because why,
I don't like it.
Huh?
why don't you order it very often?
Why don't I use it very often? Just because it's dry and I need a lot of moisture in my body in order to, everything to go through. If I get too much dry in it,
Yeah, yeah.
Now what?
okay, I gotta do the, okay, we're done with the plum mixture. This is what it looks like, okay? And then we're going to now make the topping. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and make little balls and roll it into
Oh, I see.
the
What plate do you need? Yes, plate?
Escalade, yes. Oh, I need,
You have some.
I need 2 Escalades.
So be it, order one.
You know what, I've got the dough one at home, I should have used it with
Yeah,
that.
maybe. Dough would work, but. we need-
I've never used my dough, the dough blade, you know, in this. I probably should try it on some of this stuff.
Well, would it cut also or just mix?
Well, it does dough, and this is kind of like a dough, so I'm thinking that it should work
Well, but
fairly good.
usually in this needs to be ground also, because in the dough everything
True,
is.
that's true. But it is very sharp also. It's just shorter
Okay.
to make the, to allow the dough to go around the edges. Oh, see, I learn as I go along, and that's what you guys will do too, is, you know, you go along, you learn and try different things, try different flavors, try different utensils. You'll find what works best for you, and everybody's different.
Nickel from the stainless steel leach into your food?
Not usually.
Stainless steel.
Stainless steel is stainless steel, and it does, I've never seen it leach anything. That and glass, those are the 2 ones I would recommend. So, those are the best. But, you know, when you go raw, you hardly ever use your hot cooking things.
That's right, that's right. You gotta get all this equipment though.
No, that's the regular cooking equipment.
No, it's not bad, I mean, it's a little tray, like, that they push into it.
It's like if you take microwave oven with trays that go inside.
It's like a toaster, a big toaster.
Yeah, it could look like this or like that, but when you open, it goes
Okay.
through it and it has
Cinnamon.
Different heights, yeah, trays, levels.
different trays. You can look fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's controversial cooking in a dryer.
I see Levi's back there getting more careful.
This is just to get the nuts a little bit chopped.
So you have it rough there.
Yeah, because what I'm going to do is roll these in there.
Coarse
And I-
flour.
Yes, and I need a plate.
Mold?
Plate. Can y'all see? Clear my mess here.
These are the plum balls?
Yes, they are.
Roll in now.
Are you going to open a restaurant?
Thank you, honey.
No, to
I do need a bowl.
be rentable in a restaurant that you make some money out of it, it would be very expensive.
Yeah.
You know, because of the amount of nuts and
It'd be
stuff.
exorbitant to charge somebody
Yeah.
for the labor that you put into it,
The ingredients.
the ingredients.
It's the
yeah,
ingredient.
the
I mean,
ingredients are
then where you get to mechanize it, and once you're used to it, you make. You get, it's the same. Whatever it is, the same.
Did you put the date sugar in there? Did you bring that with you?
Not yet.
Oh, but you do have it, okay.
Well, I'm not gonna put date sugar in it.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna put
Okay.
was that the last one? I'm gonna try agave in it. You shouldn't do that because it should stay dry, but we'll try it. I'm always trying stuff.
I haven't seen date sugar at Whole Foods. Is that true? They don't have it
She
there?
makes it.
You can make it.
Yeah, but I mean to buy it already.
Yes, they have it. They do have it.
It's in Whole Foods.
Yeah. It's like $9 a pound or something like that.
Hey, it's cheaper than cheese.
How do you make it? What I would do is,
I counted once. They have 144 type of cheese in there. That's one day.
you'd have to chop it up with oat flour.
Oh, the dates?
The dates.
And so it doesn't bind into a gooey mess.
How do you chop it up?
You could do that with prunes or
With
anything
food
else that you want to do.
So there's oat flour in the dates that make date sugar?
If you,
Yes.
some have other products in it, but you want to look for the one that has oat flour.
Not just straight date sugar? You can't just...
No, they
No,
have to
because
have
it'll
something to
stick
keep
to
it apart.
itself. It has to have some type of,
It's really sticky.
So gooey.
Well, then why don't they have a date syrup like agave syrup?
They do.
Because it's not liquid enough.
Yeah, they do have a date syrup.
Really?
Yes.
What's in it?
Okay, so when
Dates.
you make date sugar,
Just dates?
I don't know what else. I haven't looked. I'm sorry.
okay, no, so when you make date sugar, how do you do it? Like, what are the proportions, and do you blend it, do you dehydrate it, what do you do?
I'll have to tell you.
We'll have to get back with you on that. We've never done it either.
Come next week, there you go.
To be continued. Hey, if we told you everything in one session, you wouldn't come back next week.
That's the idea, I mean.
That would take a long time.
That's right.
I mean, Debbie has 80 some odd pages worth of recipes. That's 80 hours you'd be here? At least.
Yes.
How many date balls does that make? A plum ball?
It's about 2 years.
They make, it makes 30. Right.
So you get 2 apiece?
So depends on how you're here. Okay, you can start giving them to them.
Figuring out the rations.
They're kind of gooey, but you put them in the freezer, so it doesn't really matter.
And then what you use, you said oats to cut the dates when you make date sugar?
Yeah,
Oat flour?
oat flour.
Where do you buy that?
You make it
It's coming back.
Oh.
in a blender.
Is that in your book? Oat flour?
No, because it's simple to do. You just put it in your blender and blend it.
Rolled oats, you mean?
Yeah,
It's different.
it's not hard.
It's interesting.
Oh, thank you. Oh.
Well, you got to remember, this one is not particularly necessarily a dessert as much as it is a helper for
No, I understand.
anti-inflammatory. So anytime I give you anything that's good for something, it's probably not going to taste as sweet as you would like. But I don't want to add to diabetes or hyperglycemia or any of that kind of stuff either. So
This is perfect.
Can we make it sweeter if we want?
you could, yeah.
It's perfect.
You can always add more agave or more date sugar.
Right. This is good cold.
Notice it's soft, even though it's frozen.
Frozen,
It's,
that's
it's totally frozen, but yet it's soft.
It's like ice cream.
Doesn't freeze.
Yeah, it's like ice cream.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
So, you know, what I always try to do is find something that I can have that fulfills the need for a dessert or a treat of some kind, but that's going to be good for me and taste good.
Yeah.
And
It's
so,
very good to serve at a dinner or something. As a dessert.
Cleanse your palate.
Yeah.
Now I get to play.
All right, okay.
Smoothies.
All right.
You can have fruit smoothies, you can have green smoothies, which I combine both the fruit and then put in greens with it, which gives you several different things. The fruit gives you the sweetness, it gives you the phytochemicals, and it also will give you a lot of nutrient value. When we put in the greens, you can expect to get lots of oxygen. Leafy greens are going to give you the oxygen. and then other products to it, depending on if you have kale for calcium, spinach will give you the iron, and you have different elements to each type of leafy green. And you mix it up so that you have, this is our favorite drink in the morning. We have a smoothie, green smoothie every morning, and it gives us the energy that we need by having about, 16 ounces each. Debbie will only have about 8. Levi and I take about 16 ounces, and it'll last us till 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's got some very potent characteristics to it.
If you're used to having a lot in the morning, then you'll probably want 2 glasses, because I started out with 2 glasses. But as my body began to take in the nutrition more and more, it lowered to where I could only take 1 glass. And that's all I needed for up until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, one of the main problem is that if your intestine is clogged, then your body is going to ask you to, for food, and you're going to keep eating, but because it's clogged, it's not going to get it, and so your body's going to say, I want more, I'm not getting what I need, and the problem is that you're clogged. But once you're clean up, anything you eat just goes straight through. So, but he said, hey, I'm fine, I'm okay.
There's no requirement here as to what quantities that you put in.
And part of the beginning part.
The typical that I'll do is going to be about 1 apple, probably one of each, like apple, plum. I'm going to kind of use up what Debbie had out before. We had some plums. About 16 ounces of water, and we use coconut water per se. Skins but no seed on these heavy ones because the seeds will be too gritty. They will pulverize, but they'll be pretty gritty to you. Seeds on apples, no problem, but these hard stone fruits is what I was trying to reach before. These stone fruits are going to give you too much harshness of the outer seed.
What about papaya seeds?
Papaya seeds are very soft, but they're also very bitter.
They're peppery tasting.
Oh, so they're not good.
Well, they're very good for
Very
you,
good for you.
yes.
What do you put them in then? What could you make them?
If you were to put them in something, I would put it in, blend it up and use it almost like pepper in something else that's salty, not sweet.
Wow.
Not in a juice?
You could put it in the juice too. We have some juices that I have in my cookbook are not sweet. They're more like the salady. You could put them in that.
You should just eat it with the papaya.
Yeah, you can do that too. Oh, you can?
I'll use a bit of ginger also.
Uh-oh.
Just about a, depending on your liking. I use about that much. I mean, if that's too strong, I can cut that back. Use less.
Thank you.
So I have the ginger, I have the
It cleans your brain.
orange and some of the orange juice that was left over, plum, pineapple. So I'm going to start with that and get that blended up. Now if you use something with seeds in it like strawberries, blackberries, things of that nature, I would actually do those seeds first with nothing else, just in the water, and run them for a long time. Run them for about 90 seconds to really pulverize the seeds, because the seeds you don't want to be real gritty with. They won't taste good. If you mix it with too much.
With a regular blender, and I have the seeds in it.
Yeah, with the regular household blenders, you're not gonna break them down.
No.
It's just
But
impossible.
it's fine, you get used to it. I mean, you don't feel it.
Yeah. That's pretty good in liquid right now. And with that, we can add certain varieties of things to it, such as nutritional yeast for the bee. And we can add maca root. Is that what this is, Debbie? Maca?
Yes. Well, I've had the hardest time finding that, and then I finally ordered it, but I didn't find it like that.
This is the red maca root.
No,
Where'd
we
you
didn't
find
get it
that
yet.
one?
Does it have to be red, or can it be the other kind?
What they sell here.
The
We can
red
do the
is
other
the
kind.
best.
Red's the best.
Okay, I've got like,
I'll also add a little bit of seeds or nuts to it. Give it a little protein.
Talk about it.
Have you been watching?
It helps your intestines and your colon.
I'm moving.
And how that you're storing water in your body and filtering everything out. So yeah, psyllium seed is probably one of the best things to use on a regular basis.
Psyllium husk is going to scrub all the intestines out, where you can't get to them with enemas or with colon irrigation, because colon irrigation is only going to get into part of the colon. It's not going to get all the way in, and enemas are not going to do it. Where this starts from the top and works through your entire system. So the entire small intestine and large intestine, all the plaque that we've had on that for whatever years we're here on the planet, that's been accumulating, we're going to slowly strip that off, and it's going to finally come off the walls, and we're going to be able to now absorb all these nutrients much better than we've been able to do. I mean, you talk about lights coming on your head.
Yes, I've seen that.
Totally
I've
amazing.
experienced that.
And it'll also take, if you have like a poochie belly, it'll take that away too.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
It does. So all these cleanses are made for a purpose, for us to get back into alignment. So we recommend that you do the salt water cleanse for about 10 days along with the lemonade cleanse. And then after the 10 days, go on the psyllium husk and start eating, get yourself back to some proper eating at that point. And hopefully you start going raw with most of your food, 80 to 90%, if not 100% for a while. If you're life threatened, definitely 100%.
Even just going raw will do what you were afraid of with the psyllium seed.
Right.
Anyway, just going
I
completely
know,
raw
it
or
does.
taking enzymes, and people think at first that's how it's
But I
going to
think it's
continue
a
to
challenge,
be.
I think.
But then your body starts having the absorption, and you start losing the hunger, and the constitution of your body, changes.
Yes, and your body, the way it looks, your face, I mean,
Yeah,
everything
everything
changes.
Sure.
Everything does, because you're now putting in the right stuff, and so your whole body's going to change. And it's amazing too, because if you're in bitterness or anything like that, you have a certain shape to your body also.
Really? What
If
is
you
it?
gossip, well, like if you gossip,
Let's see this one.
usually you will have a poochie belly.
If you gossip,
Yeah, because the scripture says that those tasty morsels of gossip go into your belly as wounds.
Thank you.
So it goes in and it hurts your stomach. That's why you get colon problems and intestinal problems, stomach problems, swollen bellies. I mean, you name it.
and how do we look with unforgiveness?
Unforgiveness would be basically the same thing.
Coochie belly.
Poochie belly. Not necessarily is that necessary. That's about 80%, okay? But what you eat really makes a difference too. Because if you're not eating scripturally, then you're not eating the right foods for your body that Father intended. So you got to start with eating the way He said to in the beginning. And once you start doing that, then you're gonna see other
Coochie
things.
belly will go away.
Poochie belly will go away.
I don't hear you.
I hate the poochie belly.
I hate the poochie belly
All right,
too.
back to
I
the
don't hear you talk
show.
about cascara sagrada.
About what?
Cascara sagrada.
Do you believe that's okay? As a cleanser, cascara
Cascada.
Oh,
Scar?
Isn't that an oil?
you don't want to use it too long, but it would be a good cleanser for a short period
But
of time.
why? Do you know why?
I can't remember why,
Okay, I just thought I'd ask.
but I'll look it up.
Okay, yeah. 'Cause
But
looked
I
it up and
remember when we were trained on the herbals in that with those, we were told that it wasn't good for you to go on it for too long.
Okay.
You can't make it a regular thing.
Well, I heard that you could become addicted to it.
That might be the reason.
Dependent upon it.
That
is
might
better
be.
word, not-
Maybe that's the reason.
But I
But
just
I knew
wondered
you
if it
can't
was
use.
true. Okay.
But psyllium husk, you can. You're not going to get addicted to that.
Okay.
It's just a husk. It's not going to do that.
People's regular diets.
Yeah,
Okay.
we used to get that out the hospital, I was looking at Asia with cascara, 5 pieces of
Oh, cascara is
cascara.
amazing stuff. You got any problem, get some cascara.
Oh,
you
yeah.
won't have a problem.
That'll
Okay,
work.
class, come on, back attention. All
Yes, sir.
right, so we've started with our fruit mix. I've also added the maca. I've added the ginger root. We've added, what was the other item?
What
We
is it, the
had,
yamaka?
You didn't put
Maca
any
root.
Maca root.
seeds in there.
And nuts.
no, nutritional yeast. All right, we had
Yes.
nutritional yeast, this. And I did put a small handful of nuts in there, the cashew nuts.
No kids.
Just to give you a little bit, yeah, we can add chia to it also. But, save the mixes for whatever you want to do. Each one can be different. You don't have to have, I don't want to keep you up all night either, because if I put chia seeds in now, you won't get to sleep.
Really?
Really?
Chia seeds have caffeine in them?
No,
No.
but they cause you to be able to stay awake and endure a lot longer. And so,
They put the cheese.
Maca says that
Go ahead
too,
and put
doesn't
them in,
it?
you
That's
said?
an endurance thing too.
yes, it also does.
So are we gonna be up on the maca route tonight
So early in the morning,
Yeah,
that
put in
nutritional
2 teaspoons.
yeast and the chia seeds is something good to get you going.
Absolutely.
too? Oh, okay.
Yep. The chia seeds especially will help you endure throughout the day.
So what we're going to put in the leafy greens, we have fresh basil from our garden. We have, is this parsley?
Yeah.
Parsley?
Italian spark.
Italian parsley. If you need to remove metals, then I strongly suggest we put in the cilantro. Lots of cilantro. We have lots of the leafy greens here, the lettuce, romaine, and we have spinach. And spinach, basically, you just take a good handful and put it in with it.
See that much, it disappears completely.
Excuse me?
That much disappears completely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's like it's not there almost,
Yeah.
except it turns green.
It eats them right up. Don't put your hand in there. Amazing machine. Better than a Kirby. We also have the collard green. Get back in there.
Missing a dried up sardine or something.
Yeah, right. Dried up sardine.
Taste it.
Yeah.
You have the outside white area, so that's important for people that have cancer. Now, if somebody had some other, like, continuous bladder infection, you want to go to cranberries, go to beets, things that are going to benefit it. So that's how you mix your different smoothies, make it for whatever your needs are. Well, thank you all for coming and enjoying everything.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Very good.
Bless you all, and may Yah keep you and keep you well. And if you're not, then bring you back to wellness through the spirit, the mind, and the body. We're working on all that right here, so thank you all for coming.
At least we come every
Thank you.
Sunday.
Thank you.
and we will get well.